Hi Alina, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Hello, hi Julie. Thanks a lot for inviting me. I think you are my probably first YouTube channel interview because I sometimes do on Instagram but not on YouTube.
That's fantastic. I'm so happy and I'm excited for you to be here. So Alina, I think my viewers would like to know about what you do.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I'm a senior manager in KPMG UK. I personally do a lot of work in cloud innovation and data analytics. I would say that I don't do like the technical work myself, but we have a lot of technical teams both in the UK, but then also in India and other countries. My job is more making sure that innovation happens. So it's speaking to the clients, ensuring what is their business case. Most of my clients are financial services, and seeing if they have a problem, if they want to change something, how can they do it using, cloud analytics, innovation. And I think the second thing is, even within KPMG, we perhaps have been working more in silos. So my role has been to establish the relationships between different countries just to ensure that, again, this happens.
And you are working under KPMG Global, right?
So I work in KPMG UK officially, and I used to work in KPMG Global before, but I was always part of, officially KPMG
UK team. So Elena, let's talk about your life and some interesting people you met during your work and talk about your experiences.
Yeah. So I guess in terms of innovation specifically, most of my time I meet the clients, and the clients would be people from the big banks, the people who would be like the chief technology officers, maybe even the CROs, the heads of innovation. And I think all of them would have some sort of a challenge potentially, which they want to solve, but they don't know how. This is kind of one group of people. The second group of people is more the startups. So sometimes we would find that we as KPMG can assist, but we can add something else, something more from the startup perspective. So I would meet them as well. And finally, I would say in KPMG, generally you would have people like partners, directors from different countries, and they would have some sort of an agenda in innovation technology, and it's just meeting them and making sure that it all comes together. I think what is important to understand is innovation doesn't just happen on its own. A lot of it is a culture shift in people's minds, and to make it happen is not as simple as just making a program, and coding something. It's more, how do you embed it and how do you ensure these people come together?
Fantastic. So Elena, you have been named as one of the top 100 tech women in the world. And I'm sure my viewers would love to hear about what exactly that award is about.
Yeah, so to be honest, last year was very, very good for me. I got a couple of awards actually. One of them was Tech Women 100. It's Tech Women in the UK rather than the world, so Tech Women 100. And the second one was Rising Star in Technology. I think what is important about these awards is they recognize women who perhaps are not too senior, so they don't need to be CEOs of large organizations. They can be, quite young and quite good in what they're doing, but they recognize them for the fact that they're making an impact. And I think just by looking at the awards, they would focus on three key things. So one is, how good are you, I guess, in what you are doing? So whether it's innovation or technology or whatever it is. And the second one is, how do you ensure, what is your journey? Like if you had obstacles, how did you overcome them? So it can be obstacles both at work, but it can be just the personal journey of how did you even come to doing technology. And the third thing is perhaps the most important is, you don't just do it for the salary, but you actually give it back to other people. The awards do recognize those that, give something back. ultimately. I'm also pleased to say, and I don't think it's official yet, but I know it already, I'm a finalist in an innovation category of another award. So hopefully there is more to celebrate this year as well.
Oh, that is fantastic. Best of luck I'm sure that you will get there. And I mean, it is very interesting because I understand that, recognizing youngsters who making a mark in the world is very important. And I think your award basically speaks for itself. And since we are talking about your accomplishments, is there any other accomplishment which you want to talk about? Which you are very proud of?
Yes. So I don't want to specifically talk about, innovation, because maybe that's not, it's important, but I don't think that's my major accomplishment. I think my major accomplishment is, I guess, how did I come to where I am today? And I think for the benefit of your viewers, when I was growing up, I didn't really have anyone who does technology around me or does innovation. In fact, I was brought up to be a housewife, and I'm the first person in my family to have education and to have a job like a woman, I guess. And I would say my accomplishment is around three things. Number one is I did break the barriers, maybe in my own personal mindset of thinking a bit differently, and perhaps thinking as a woman, I can do something, I can have a career and hopefully be successful in it. Number two is more, I wouldn't say of an admin, but it did take me quite a long time to do it. It took me a long time to find a job in the UK because I'm on a work permit and I'm a highly skilled resource, but the rules for the work have changed, and I was applying sitting in Russia. I was applying to come to the UK. So I was literally applying online for many, many jobs. I was working abnormal hours in the company where I used to work, and I used to fly at night to UK, have an interview, and then go back to Russia and then work again. So it was very time consuming. It was very time consuming also because I applied to 500 jobs and I got too many declines. But in the end, I did find a job, which was 6 years ago. I got 3 offers and I started working in technology in Accenture because that was what I thought was the best offer at the time. And I think the third part of the accomplishment is just like when I came to the UK, it was a bit of a cultural difference for me. And it was a lot about how do I progress quickly in my career, or how am I successful? Because I guess as a foreigner, I first felt that I'm maybe a bit of a tier 2 person when I came to UK because I didn't know anybody. And I was good, I guess, in maths, but I wasn't so good in talking to people, meeting people, and doing all this business stuff. And I guess I made an effort to become better in it. And now I'm happy that I'm recognized both at work, but then also, with all these awards. It's nice to finally come to that after all the effort, I guess.
So I think you can be a great role model for a lot of women who are struggling, to do something in life, and I'm sure you can be an inspiration to all these women.
Well, so interestingly, I'm doing a lot of mentoring at the moment. I used to do mentoring before. It was more maybe tutoring, mentoring, or mentoring at work. But now I have a personal objective of, mentoring more. So I'm doing some of the global networks, which perhaps are not so known in India, but they are known in the UK. So they are all voluntarily, they are free of charge. But young girls, and not only young girls, the women who want to change the job, they can subscribe to it for free, and then they would get to talk to me and to somebody like me. There are other mentors. So I think that's a very good initiative, because I, to be honest, didn't have it when I was looking for a job. And maybe if I had it, it wouldn't have taken me 500 jobs and all these fights to do.
Right. Very interesting. So you a little bit talked about your personal challenges, as an individual. Is there anything else which you felt was in your professional life a big challenge?
Well, I think one of the biggest challenges, I think, was in my own mindset. I wasn't sure whether I can grow very quickly.
Right.
So usually I would look at people and I would make an estimate, generally to go from a graduate to a senior manager, say 10, 12 years. That's roughly an estimate, which we have, in firms like my firm. And I just wasn't sure, can I do it? Can I not do it? And it was more getting this positive mindset of I can and I will, and not being afraid to step up. And I think it was a mindset change, because at the time when I started, I used to think I'm an analyst, there are all these important people, the managers, senior managers, MDs, and they're so wonderful. But actually, everyone is a person and everybody has exactly the same challenges. So it's more the mindset. If you feel like a manager, you can be a manager. If you feel like, a partner, you can be a partner. Obviously, you have a lot of stuff to do in terms of showing, that you have the good work, you are committed, but it's more something that you have to do inside to have to progress just, quicker. And that was probably my key lesson.
So, what do you think the future holds for you?
I think so. I want to focus on 3 key things, I guess, in terms of my work. So, number 1, I do want to progress in terms of my career. So, I'm being told that I can become a partner, which is very positive, and I just need to work to become a partner. I think the second thing, which is very important for me, is I do want to scale more. So I guess at the moment I am known in KPMG and I am quite known maybe with some of the other market startups, etc. But I want to be more on the industry level. So for example, if we do talks similar to yours, doing more of them for television and maybe being more of an influencer in terms of the technology, not just in KPMG. And I think the third one is I do believe that giving back, even, if you don't get paid for that, it still gives you a lot of positivity and a lot of this energy from the people that hopefully benefit from it. And I just want to do more of that. I want to do, the mentoring, which I'm doing now, but obviously, again, I do want to expand it. I think talks like this or, something similar, maybe on the topics of technology, this also benefits wider people, because perhaps you have the interviews and you see the famous people, but you don't actually know how to implement it practically. And then it's more looking at the people who are, just like you, and they've done it and they've been where you are like 2 years ago, a year ago. I think it's just something helpful, probably.
Right. So it is fantastic that you're here. It is great talking to you, and I'm sure that your journey per se would be a great inspiration for a lot of women who will be watching this interview.
Yeah.
And Alina, I know that you're extremely busy, but thank you so much for taking out time and being on this platform.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Julia.
So if you're viewing my channel for the first time, we have amazing women like Alina on this platform on a regular basis. So do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, Alina.
Thank you.